Hey y'all, so I saw 28 years later, The Bone Temple. So basically it's the second half of the one that we just saw last year with 28 years later. So we still have the little character Spike, we still have the doctor, we still have Samson, and basically what's going on there. Remember during the credit scene you see all those kids in the jumpsuits, but basically they're the Jimmies. They are what I think is a result of like not having any adults around you during the apocalyptic times. Like these children were either like were abandoned because their families probably were got killed, or they are just like by themselves. Now we have like the oldest Jimmy, who fancies himself like the leader and everything. And remember at the beginning of the first 28 years later, you see that family that gets attacked and they're on the jumpsuits or whatever and watching Teletubbies. I'm assuming that he is one of them, and how he's a child and then he's clearly left by himself and then he's left to his own devices and figuring out the world and his end up being a view of the world, especially if you clearly he was like a religious child. Um, you see these monsters are running around. It's clearly those are demons. This is the work of the devil. And instead of then leaning into like the God aspect, he leans into the Satan aspect and all those things that he now is about doing. So, oh, if I didn't say it already, this is a bit of a spoiler warning. Sorry, I'll probably post it a graphic somewhere. But it's very clear that Jimmy, who now in his little gang, he has either went and killed all these kids, people's families, and then kept the children so he could have his own little gang of people that he calls his fingers, and they're off now doing torturous things to other people. And yes, there was a moment where I almost left the theater because there's like a good 15 minutes where you see them torturing this family. And I'm just like, I didn't need that. Like, I did not need to see the removal of the shirt. And I was almost just like, nope, I'm leaving. I'm never seeing this movie again. But then we come to Ray Fiennes and him in his developing friendship with Samson the Alpha, and how he is like, since he's like being more close proximity to what's happening and taking a moment, he's like, maybe it's something that he can treat with the limited resources that he has, and he starts going about doing that. The psychosis of it, because you actually there's a moment where you do get to see what the infected see through Samson's eyes and what and how they're attacking people. And I was like, oh, okay, that's new. And I was like, that's bet. And then just seeing how he just like slowly becomes, not want to say completely himself, but just recognizing um who he was before. Because at first it's him just being high with Ray Fiennes because of the morphine, and then because it's the rage virus. So if you're eliminating the rage part of the virus, then maybe that's what's you know helping him to return to himself. And I like the idea of that, but there are a lot of slow moments that made me go, but also what else would happen? It's going to be slow. There's nothing else going on. But then when things are happening, things are happening. And I absolutely appreciate it, with Ray Fiennes' character having some electricity. And he has this whole, like, there's a rock concert kind of thing that happens a bit. And I'm like, yeah, Iron Maiden, that's what's up. And of course, we get to the end, and we get to see Cillian Murphy with his daughter, which makes me go, did Danielle Harris die? Or was she out and about doing something else? Because, yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't think Danny Boyle has any intentions on continuing the story or not. I think this is, I think he said this is it. But I wouldn't be against maybe another one, because I think because we're in the first 28 years, we see that soldier and he's like, yeah, the world's just moved on and nobody's paying attention to y'all. And I think that we maybe, I don't want to have like a complete storyline of the outside world, but maybe like showing the juxtaposition of how everybody's out here like right now living their lives, da 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 da, knowing that there's this island just like still infected and stuck, and how I think that does speak a lot to where we are at in our own actual time, how there are terrible things happening in places and people are just la, 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 going about their lives. But again, I don't think I would watch this movie Again, just because it terrified me. But as an overall part of the whole 28 series, yeah, because when the doctor like basically cured Samson, he cured him pretty much in a vacuum because who is he going to tell? Because nobody checks on them. Nobody is checking on them. They are all by themselves. Okay. All right, y'all. This was till next time.
You don't have to be perfect to be amazing.